I've been hearing a lot of buzz lately about teachers who need to change their pedagogy to match the 21st century. They're using 20th century skills and methods to try to prepare their students for a 21st century world, and that's just not going to work. In order to prepare students for a 21st century world, we need to focus on the tools that they're going to use whenever they graduate, such as Web 2.0 tools like blogging and participating in a global community, in a global conversation. As such, we have to get our students to begin to use these Web 2.0 tools. And it's very difficult to assess whether a student has mastered these tools by using a multiple choice assessment. Although multiple choice assessments still have their place in a classroom, in the 21st century classroom, I think that we need to really look at new and different ways to assess our students. So for example, you could have them create their own blog or create some kind of a multimedia presentation, and then you've got to assess it. I think the best way to assess such tasks is through the use of a rubric. A well-thought rubric, a well-prepared rubric is one that does not show favoritism. Either the student matches the criteria or not. And there are many different places online where you can find rubric creating help. You can also use spreadsheets or just Microsoft Word or Apple Pages to create a table in a rubric, as I have done in the past. As I said, there are several tools and sites available, so let's take a look at one now. This particular one is called Rubistar, and you can find it at rubistar.4teachers.org. And whenever you first come to this site, you're going to need to register. Very, very easy, very simple. All you need is an email. You hit that button, you register, and then you'll have an account. You can see that I'm signed in already, our Kindle. And basically all you have to do is click on one of these buttons down here, whichever your subject fits into or the rubric that you want to create fits into, and then you can go to town. But I also want to point out that you do have some featured projects and other options that you can take a look at on your own time. Peruse all these different options to see all the really cool things you can do with this site. I'm going to stick with multimedia. And as I've done these in the past, I'm going to go with a PowerPoint project. And this, speaking of Web 2.0, could be something that your students do over Google Docs, for example. You can have a multimedia collaborative presentation that your students do over Google Docs, or your students can collaborate with other students from other schools or other states even over Google Docs. Now the first thing that I want to do is name it, and I'm going to name it Google Docs presentation. I'm going to leave it as a temporary rubric, but you can make it permanent if you want to. Now you see you've got several different boxes on the left that give you the criteria for each question, and then the level of competency is going to be what you're going to write in across the top here. So buttons and links work correctly. That's not what I want to start out with. I want to start out with text, font choice, and formatting. It's really annoying to get a pink PowerPoint that has yellow all over it or neon green. It's very hard on the eyes. So we're going to choose, and I didn't actually choose it, but we're going to choose text and formatting. And you see that it autofills the 4 different levels. We'll choose a different one. How about content accuracy? That's very important in history, for example. That's what I taught last year. Spelling and grammar, something that I would really like to stress, but not too much, so I'm going to add that one in there. Originality. Let's see if they actually put a little bit of thought into it. And you can always read these and decide whether they match what you want them to say or not. Additionally, if you really want to, you can add your own criteria down here. But let's just pretend that that's all I want to do. I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom and hit submit. As you can see, The rubric has been made, and all you have to do is either make it available online or print or download it.